Would you risk your life to save people you don't even know who may ignore you anyway? Do you routinely tell Jesus no? Let's talk about that. Hi, I'm Josh. Welcome to Honestly Radio. As you may know, I used to work in radio. One of my jobs was to watch out for severe weather and then broadcast warnings about the danger headed our way. In Joplin, the biggest risk is tornadoes. But because they're a constant threat and very hit or miss, people had become pretty numb to warnings. This was also a time before weather alerts on your phone. We actually pushed pretty heavy for that after the huge mile-wide tornado decimated the city. But because people had become so used to people like me warning them about the threat of tornadoes, they began to ignore the warnings and carry on business as usual. That was until May 22nd, 2011, when one of the nation's deadliest and most devastating tornadoes grinded through the city, leaving 158 dead and around $2.8 billion worth of damage. So some people heard the warning minutes before disaster, listened to my voice, and found shelter, while others heard my voice and ignored it. After everything happened, I remember talking to a reporter. When I mentioned that I thought the tornado was going to hit the station, that at any moment a car or a tree was going to come flying through the window while we were warning people, she asked, "Why didn't you guys run for cover? Why did you keep broadcasting?" We just shrugged and said it seemed wrong to leave people alone in the dark. We wanted to help as many as we could until the lights went out. I look back now and I know Christ put us in that situation to help others. Not everyone was going to receive that help, but that didn't change what we were meant to do. There will be times in your life when you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do for Christ, and people will not listen and will not receive your message. And there may have also been times Christ gave you a clear direction and you gave him a clear answer. No. If you have made it a habit of telling Jesus no, I would beg you to stop. It's one of the most devastating things you can do in your relationship with God. Like Paul says, when we close ourselves off and shut Christ out, we cannot turn to him and we cannot be healed. Some of you may be experiencing this disconnect and you're so frustrated, so hurt, and feel so alone. I want to ask you, when is the last time you said yes to Jesus? Unless we allow Christ to be the center of our lives, he cannot heal us. If you want to be warm, you have to sit by the fire. If you want to be restored and redeemed, you have to spend time with Jesus. He so desires to heal you. A doctor can only help us if we do what they say, and Jesus can change our lives for the better, but first we must trust and obey. Oops, it looks like we ran out of time. If you want to hear the full podcast, go to honestlyradio.com or search Honestly Radio on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.